Okay, so here's the tip I've got for you. One of the biggest problems I find when I'm doing binding is actually putting the strips together. And it involves drawing a line here. It involves putting right sides together and trying to figure out which way do I do it so that when I have sewn it and fold it over, it is a straight line. And I have sewn and unpicked too many times. It's just horrible. So how can we do this and make it a lot easier? Well, the first thing you do is you put your piece right side down, and you're going to fold it over here, and you're going to do a pressed, as if you were going to make a pressing line in order to sew it. Now the next thing you do is you get these. Now Jean has got these and she'll give it to you after the video. I don't know what yours looks like. I ordered them on Amazon and sent them to Jean, but you literally have certain glue in them, and you don't use very much, just a tiny amount, and it washes out. So that's the main thing, you don't see it. This is the glue, and I bought these so that we could fill your bottles, and as you know, I can't be there. So this is what I use. It's the washable clear glue, so you don't see it on your fabric, and as soon as you wash it, you don't even know it's there. And to be honest, you use such a tiny amount, you wouldn't know it was there if you didn't wash a quilt, so it's not a problem. You don't need very much in your bottle. As you can see, I've only got, oh gosh, there's a small amount here, and I've used this and used it and used it. You use a very, very tiny amount. So I wish that I had this, because this would be enough literally for all 30 of us. That would be enough for everybody. But sorry, I'm not there. Okay, but what are we actually going to do? Well, you want to put a line of glue, and you just need dots. You don't really need anything else. And you don't put it actually on this line here, but your folded line. But you make sure you keep it within that 1/4 of an inch. So we're just going to go along, and you can either put a line or you can do dots. However your glue is coming out, doesn't really matter. Just enough, because what you're trying to do is to get it so that the two pieces of fabric stay together long enough to sew it. So there you go, I've done that. Now we've got the right side, and we're going to put the right side. And all you do is you put the right side down so that it matches on this line here. Now if it overlaps here, it really doesn't matter, because it just means you're losing a little bit of your fabric here. But you're going to put it down, face, so it's the right sides together. And this is the this is the main part you have to do. You have to set your glue. And you set the glue by putting it with an iron. And there we have it. So there, now you can see exactly what your seam is going to look like. Brilliant. Both pieces go together without a problem. And all you have to do now is you fold this over, and look at that. That's your seam line right there on that fold. So you just sew along that fold, trim that off, and you will have perfectly matching binding. Now, other things that you can do with this, which is very good. This is a dog bed I'm making for our quilt guild. I think some of you have had the same problem I have. You are sewing and you fold it to the back, and you're stitching in the ditch, but of course you can't see the back. And what you find is after you get the whole thing done, it's missed bits of it. So you've got it sewn and it's missed, and you've got other bits sewn. So what you can do, you do the same thing as you do with your other binding. So you're going to bring this around to the back. Now all you have to do, here's your binding, you've got it laid out here, and you just put dots along here. Or just whatever, anything to get the glue on there. So it takes a bit longer, but you don't have to. You will find you will not have to go back and fix all those fiddly little pieces. Now if you can get more glue out, that's good, but you don't need a lot. And then the same thing, you've got to fold it over, and you've got to set it with your iron. Now because you've now glued that, when you go to sew it, it's going to say right where you want it. Now when you go to the sewing machine and you stitch in the ditch, you are going to catch that every single time. And you do the same things with the corners. So obviously you glue your corner down, and then you would put some more glue, and you would fold this over, and you would glue that down, and you glue it so that you have a perfect match there. And then obviously you won't miss any of the corners and the pieces going together, which is really good. And again, when you get to the end, this is another one that's always a pain for most people, or it is definitely for me, is when you want to put these two pieces together. Now obviously when you do them, what you do is you cut it so that they overlap the width of the binding. I think everybody knows that. So 2.5 inch binding, then you make sure that you cut it so that there's a 2.5 inch overlap. So that's easy. But then how do you get these two pieces together? Because you're always doing one of these numbers. You've got to, it's tight, so you're bringing it in and you're trying to fold it. And do you fold it that way and draw your line, or is it supposed to go this way and draw your line, or is it supposed to go the other way up? Oh, it drives me nuts. But what you can do with this is exactly the same thing. You lay your right sides together, you do your fold, you bring this piece over. Once you've got your glue on here, I think you can see that, my hand's out of the way. So yeah, you've now right sides together. So you want to go that way. You want to make sure you're on the underside. So then you fold this way, so your right side is up. Same with the other binding. Can I bring that down here where you can see it? So this is the wrong side, this is the right side. And then when your glue is on there, right sides together. As long as you haven't got it twisted or anything, you'll find then when you come around and you bring it up, you will have a perfect piece of binding going together, and all you've got to do is sew on your seam line. So hopefully that helps. It may seem like it's taking a lot longer, especially if you've got a big quilt and you're trying to get around the whole thing with the glue. But then again, it can take hours going back and picking up all those pieces that you missed and trying to sew them again. So it can be worth it. It's definitely better when you're actually putting your binding together, because it's very quick and you will get perfect straight lines every time. I mean, it was an absolute game changer for me when I realized that how easy it was to get straight lined pieces of binding together without having them jagged and going all the wrong way. So anyway, I hope you enjoy your glue bottle, and I'm really sorry I'm not there to give you the glue, but again, it's the Elmer's washable clear glue, cheap stuff at Walmart. It's only about $2 I think for this whole bottle, and this will probably last you 10 years. So yeah, okay, hopefully that helps everybody. All right, have fun guys, bye.